All right. Hello, everyone. This is Tiffany, also known as the Perfectly Wise, coming to you again with this would, I guess, would be the May intuitive guidance session or reading here. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's been kind of holding up well there, especially in these past few weeks there as more unfolding craziness and changes have really taken root here on our earthly plane. Um, I'm coming to you with this session here, especially as we're leading up here. Next Wednesday, there, as we probably know here, is the new moon in Taurus. And it's interesting, over the last few days, very, very, very recently here, there's been a notion here. There probably also, I'm perceiving also I'm kind of being influenced here, and or our collective here at this time is really influenced here by the recent change in Venus going into Gemini. I've been really perceiving this real notion here more recently, and a lot of it I sense is carrying us over into this new moon in Taurus cycle here next Wednesday onwards. This notion here of contending with our divine counterparts. Those seemingly would seemingly be these opposite expressions of ourselves, of masculine and feminine, yin and yang. It's kind of that classic principle there of yin and yang, divine masculine, divine feminine. I'm also perceiving also as it relates to sacred contracts and our relationships here with others here on earth. So these could be, members in your soul family. I'm getting also twin flames and soulmates, those relationships that have been born, also that you have here on earth with those folks there who are very close to you on that very soul level here. I've been really kind of tapping into this notion here of, as we go into this new moon in Taurus coming from Wednesday onward here, a real need and desire here to, if you haven't already, move and merge self into a sense of unity, a sense of non-duality, and more specifically, a sense of harmony between those expressions there. So, for example, I'm getting a couple things there. So, one, for example, if you have by chance, and you wouldn't be faulted for taking it in this way here, if you by chance have really tapped into a perception here of this moment and an attitude of this moment of everything is all bad, everything is all, apocalyptic, this is terrible, oh my gosh, how can this serve me? I've lost so much. You've kind of really been cycling in that sort of thought frame and mind frame here, bringing a sense of balance there in the sense of opportunity, the sense of maybe even gratitude, which might seem strange there, a sense of gratitude for the moment and understanding, or at least being receptive in kind of tapping into, okay, well, how can this moment and how is this moment serving me? If you've really kind of gone into kind of a negative kind of thought frame there of all bad and this is terrible, bring in a sense of balance and harmony back in the perspective of, okay, well, how can this moment serve me? What can I create in this moment? What am I being taught in this moment? There could be that. As it relates to twin flames and divine counterpart relationships, members in our soul family who we share very close relationship within ourselves, on the soul level. If there's been recent disharmony within those relationships here, perhaps there's been a previous argument, a previous disagreement that has drawn you into a place here where you haven't been communicating. There's just kind of been that weird, maybe fracture there in those relationships there. You might have felt a certain proactive, and this would make sense there because if I understand there also, Venus is currently in Aries, which to me I perceive in that energy a certain proactiveness, whereas before it might have been sort of arrested, emotional, maybe self-indulgent, kind of energy there. Maybe you're kind of drawn to a sense of, okay, maybe if there's been disharmony here, what can I do about this in a tangible way, right? In a tangible way, in a grounded way, in bringing a sense of harmony back in those relationships there. Because in many ways there on that soul level, they are outward expressions of self, right? So the harmony that you're able to kind of bring back to the table with those other folks in your soul family, your twin flame, your soulmates, that also necessarily brings a sense of unity back to the table within your own body. So there's that as well. So yeah, there's a couple things there, and I don't want to kind of get too rambly about this because I'm sure there could be other perspectives and insights here drawn. But I figured for the sake here again, and sort of leading us into this new moon in Taurus phase there, and kind of as May unfolds there, as April closes and May unfolds there, kind of getting a sense of okay, what are we should we keep in what should we be keeping in mind, so to speak. So let's see. And for today, I'm drawing from the Tarot of the Holy Light deck here. So let's see what comes up. Okay, all right. Okay. All right, let's get the deck here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right here a little bit. Beautiful angels, beings of love and light who know us well and wish us well. Ooh. Ew. 5 of Swords, 4 of Cups, 7 of Cups. A battle, interesting. Just off the top there, I'm getting, there's different perspectives. Somehow the 7 of Cups energy is giving me like different perspectives and avenues there in which you can perceive and carry a moment here, carry what's going on here, and a certain struggle and battle here in which is correct. And in a way here, a certain peace. Yeah, a certain peace that needs to come to the table here. A certain sense of restfulness that needs to come to the table. Yeah, I'm getting, just immediately off the top here, I'm getting, between the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Cups, a battle of perspective. A contemplation of perspective, going back and forth. Interesting. Okay, nice. Near the messages of love, light, healing, and wisdom. Ooh. The hierophant. A necessary sense of order that needs to come and that is brought to the table. Interesting. Led as always in submitting myself as a channel for your messages of love, light, healing, and wisdom. What messages? Also, it should be noted, the Hierophant here, that's Taurian energy. Yeah, there's Taurian energy. It's this card here has a linkage to Tauran energy. Yeah. So there is a certain, okay, let's put this down a little bit here. Okay, I'm getting more specifically here at the root of all of this here. And all the different, bringing a sense of order here to chaos. Bringing a sense of order here to bickering, a mental, and I'm getting, it could be I'm getting within self and outside of self also. A certain bickering, a certain sense of necessary order here that needs to be brought here, if it hasn't already, between a mental, whether it's a mental, internal sense of back and forth and struggle, or arguments with others, disharmony outside of self with others. And also a sense there, if there's been different perspectives here. Yeah, there's been sort of different choices and perspectives here that you may have contemplated here. A necessary discipline here of order. Yeah. Of getting quiet enough and stabilizing. Yeah, because the Four of Cups is giving me very immediately. So interesting. This is kind of jumping out quite immediately here. The Four of Cups energy here is giving me a certain restful respite here, which would make sense, especially right now, very specifically here as we are in the last crescent moon phase there, the disseminating phase there. It does bring about a necessary discipline here of rest and surrender. Again, you're not striving, you're not trying to rush and do anything here. There is, even in actions that you're still making here, there's a necessary discipline here of rest and surrender here that brings to the table here. Yeah, I'm getting into these two coming together, the Four of Cups and the Hierophant here. In the rest, putting down the battles of bickering and backbiting, of disharmony that has been born, that may have been born so far here, certain disharmony here, and really offering peace, and it is the right thing. It is the right thing to do. I'm getting here in this Hierophant energy. Yeah. I'm getting a certain peace, a peace and stability and order here that comes to the table. It's like, okay, you've been doing a lot. This disharmony, this backbiting, that's been a lot. Let's bring some order now to the table. Let's bring some stability here to the table. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, and in the Seven of Cups energy here, in figuring out what's the right thing to do, in determining really what's the right thing to do, what's the right pathway forward here, in resolving a certain sense of disharmony that might have been born here, either within yourself and within others, in your relationship with others, especially as they resonate there on the soul level. Again, I'm getting this thing here as far as whether it's people you have soul contracts with, members in your soul family, your twin flame, soulmates, whatever kind of expression there and phrase there you want to rest in there, or call it or name it. The internal sense there of your imagination, yeah, your deep internal knowing and imagination here, almost like that internal picture. Yeah, that internal deep soul picture here that is born and expressed from your heart. Like if you were to envision, oh, I see. Gotcha. Yeah, it's kind of that principle here of within yourself, envisioning the next best steps forward, envisioning the best case scenario. Yeah. And envisioning the next best case scenario here and being restful here and having that image flow to you in the Four of Cups energy, because I'm getting that at the most principle here at this particular time frame here, and allowing in a peaceful state here your best case scenario picture here to come forth to the table here in the Seven of Cups energy. That necessarily informs there what's the right thing to do tangibly here on earth as it's leading into the new moon in Taurus phase there from Wednesday next week moving on. And in a lot of ways I'm getting this carryover here in May as well. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Any other messages? Ooh. The Hermit. Okay. The Hermit. Ooh. Oh, let me show the Hermit energy. The Hermit. Are the messages of love, light, healing, and wisdom for our collective at this time? Led as always and channeled as always through my own intuition. That deep place of inner knowing. Ooh. Ooh. Are we keeping all of this? Yep, yeah, we are. Okay. So we're giving you all the messages today. Okay, yeah. Knight of Swords. And you can stop with these for now with these. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so Knight of Swords, the Emperor. I was getting a sense of order here. A real disciplined sense of order. That would make sense since now that the Emperor is on the table. Three of Swords. And Ace of Discs. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, angels. Give me the picture here. Yeah, the order here that, yeah, just linking back again. In the Hierophant energy here, I'm getting there's a linkage, an essential linkage between these two energies in the Emperor and the Hierophant. I'm getting in these energies here as it carries over into the new moon in Taurus and onwards there through the end of April and May. An essential discipline here, if you haven't already, if you haven't brought about and really manifested a sense of discipline within yourself in bringing stability, in bringing order, if you've been, yeah, if you've been by chance here caught up in disappointment, kind of, oh, interesting, and spiraling, yeah, because I'm getting in the carryover from the Three of Swords to the Five of Swords here, a certain carried over and run amok sense of disappointment and disharmony. This is the moment here because what's at stake here is the refortifying of your own personal power here. A sense of stability and order here that needs to be brought to the table here. And it's done so in fortifying peace. In finding peace and occupying a peaceful principle. Interesting. Yeah. 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 This energy in this time frame also in this Hierophant, in this Hermit energy here. Yeah, I'm getting more specifically for our broader collective here. This has been, in a lot of ways, we've all been internal. We've all been hermits within our homes, within our home environments here, within those places here where we feel stable, where we generally just anyways feel stable and secure. And there's been a purpose in doing so here. Yeah, there's been a reason for this. If you by chance have been distracted, there has been a lack of clarity. Yeah, I'm getting in the Knight of Swords energy here a certain sense of, if this hasn't happened already, an opportunity here for a sense of stability here and clarity here in growing from all the different possibilities and pathways forward here, gaining a sense of clarity here while you are hermited here in your home, while you in your homes in maybe smaller, more constricted environments here. If there has been, on the one sense, a carryover here of disappointment that you've continued to kind of been cycling in, and that has been maybe extended and kind of unfolding over an extended period of time, which has carried you in a sense of disharmony, either fighting within self or fighting outside of self in relation with others. Yeah. In taking more time for yourself and being more isolated in the hermit energy within yourself, there's an essential sense of peace that has, if not already here, there's an opportunity for that to be brought to the table. In the various different perspectives and pathways here that you have sort of envisioned moving forward. Wait, do I do this? Do I go here? Is this what's meant to happen? Is this what's meant to unfold? Is this the new vision here? in occupying peace and being very, I'm getting in a lot of ways here, which would make sense. Emperor energy, among other things here, that's Aries energy. Among other things here, there's Aries energy here. There's an essential divine. It can be a little bit of a domineering, but it serves for good reason, especially in how you integrate that energy here. I mean, the Sun and Venus, again, I believe, are both in Aries. So there's a strong sort of drive, a very much driven sense here. I see. How you utilize this energy productively is by restoring to stability. Stability in one sense, and peaceful inner illumination in another sense. Yeah. 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 Which would then necessarily make sense here, because how the sense of clarity in this Knight of Swords energy here, the sense of clarity, the sense of, okay, from all these different possibilities in the Seven of Cups energy here, and all these different pictures and images that I might have had here, here's the actual place here where I'm moving forward here with intention, with focus here. Where it necessarily resonates here, and where it resonates here is as expressed here in your life on Earth, which would then jump out in the Ace of Dis energy, or Ace of Pentacles energy. Yeah. Which would make sense. Yeah, that would make sense here. Yeah. Yeah. The discipline here and the stakes here is as it relates to your life here on Earth. What that looks like moving forward, how that is shaped. Oh, interesting. How that is shaped moving forward. Yeah, for some reason, the combination of the Emperor and the Ace of Dis energy here, in drawing into a newfound perspective within, as you're relating here within your home life, and drawing away from, because there's a certain it's very interesting how this time frame can work here. The more that you are hermited, and we are hermited here within our homes, within our home environments here, away from other people, away from what might be distractions. Interesting. Yeah, the Seven of Cups energy is kind of jumping out in that way as well. In a lot of ways it's helpful to embrace kind of all different pictures and possibilities here, but in a lot of ways they can become distractions. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, in a lot of ways, the combination of the Seven of Cups and the Five of Swords energy is also giving me that as well. A certain distraction that can kind of be bred there. Yeah. Yeah. And you might find yourself in the Three of Swords energy here, contending continually with bad news, contending continually with, this is not working out. I'm having a setback here. It's just not. Yeah, there's a real sense of inertia. It's like there's a stuck energy here. Yeah. There's a stuck expression. There's a stuck energy here that I'm getting in this Three of Swords energy that can be bred there. And you may not have realized that. Oh, interesting. I see. I see. Oh, interesting. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, in a lot of ways also, in the Knight of Swords energy here, I'm getting also, in a previous timeline or in previous kind of weeks and months there, in you kind of being carried over and consumed here, either in kind of all these different possibilities and images and pictures, these different expressions and notions here of this time frame here, or a sense of disharmony and or a sense of disharmony within self and outside of self. You might have been moving forward here on a voyage here. Yeah, you might have been. Yeah, your perspective here might have been incorrect. You might have been carrying forth here with an incorrect perspective. Ooh. I see. This perspective here and this notion here of how you have been carrying forward here, it might have been right up to a certain point, but you didn't. Interesting. Yeah. The Four of Cups is giving me a certain releasing energy. There might have been, most recently, a lack of clarity and understanding here that there needed to be a what's the word here? There might have been a need to change gears, shift gears. Interesting. Shift course, shift gears. Interesting. Utilizing this sort of isolated in this period here of social distancing and how that gets to breed a lot of time for yourself in your homes and just isolated circumstances here, it brings illumination to that. Yeah, because I'm getting in the Knight of Swords energy a certain also, you carry forth and you keep moving forward here, but there's a sense of discipline. Yeah, there's a sense of added newfound insight that comes in that energy as well. And there can, oh, interesting. Yeah, because in the discipline also, as it resonates there in the hierophant energy, you're getting to kind of evaluate here in the pathway and how I've been carrying forward so far. Is it still correct? Is it still the right thing to do? Is it still keeping an orthodoxy here in what's fruitful and best for myself? Does it necessarily carry me and lead me through here, the possibilities that I have here on earth, within my home life, within my career, within my relationships with others, tangible relationships with others, how those get to look like and take shape and form here on earth? Is that still correct here? Or is there another perspective here that I need to draw into? Yeah. Am I still right, or have I been, in the pathway and how I've been carrying this forth here, I'm getting a couple possibilities here. On the one sense here, and the pathway that I've been carrying forth here, the perspective, the voyage here that I've been kind of leading myself through within my mental space here, my perspective on others and my circumstance here, within my own self, within my in relationship with others. Has that been wrong all along? Have I been just going on an entirely wrong voyage all along? Have I been going on the right voyage, and have I had the right kind of frame of mind here and thought form here, but it need to change? There's a necessary shift here. Yeah. Or if I have been, or if I have been still contemplating and been still isolated within self, not kind of moving forward here, still kind of trying to gain the right steps here. Is this the right time here? Have I now stepped into the right perspective and to the right sense of insight here to then carry myself forward, to then carry things forward here? Is it correct? I'm also getting in the combination of the Hierophant and the Emperor here a certain reckoning that is been happening here within our political systems, our economic systems, really those systems here that necessarily shape our life on earth, all those possibilities that shape and influence all those possibilities. Because that would make sense, right? If you're for example, considering, oh, I want to go to a new place here, especially as it resonates there from the vision, that visualization that you've had, that picture here that you've had, that desire that you've kind of drawn into here in the Seven of Cups energy. In the most tangible and practical sense here, if you've had necessarily maybe an ambition here to go after a new job or to open a new business or to move to a new place or to travel to a new place here, yeah, I mean, there is very, very realistically here, a very tangible place here of, or notion here of, yeah, having the necessary earthbound conditions that aid in that process and help to make that happen. Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting simultaneously in the combination as we're in hermit energy here, maybe isolated, isolated within self and out from others here. Maybe you're kind of doing a lot of self-reflection and digging within self here. I'm getting on both an internal and collective level here, a certain reckoning here that's been born here within, that needs to be born here if it hasn't already here. In contending here with these structures here that has been born within my own, both within my own self, my own perspective here, the way in which the perspective that I then born here and carry over here. Is that correct? Does that need to be reshaped? Does that need to be reformed? I'm also getting that there's a reckoning here on a societal level, on a structural level. Again, within our economic systems, our political systems, our healthcare system, all of those systems here. Yeah. And it is important here because it shapes our possibilities moving forward as they resonate here on Earth. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, but the discipline here, again, yeah, there's a real, yeah, because in the Five of Swords energy, I'm really getting like a bickering, kind of non-dual, kind of either or, me versus you. I'm all the way, I'm fighting for self and I'm fighting within and outside self here on one perspective here on the spectrum here. Yeah, I'm really getting a need here in the Four of Cups energy there, also on the table here, to bring a sense of peace, to let that go. Yeah, let it go. It does not serve. It's not right. Yeah, and in the Five of Swords energy here, I'm getting where there very might be a sense of pride here. Yeah, a sense of pride. You don't want to win. You don't want to lose. You want to stand your ground no matter what. And that is fine, because if you are stepping into and carrying over here a perspective and an illumination here, in the insight here and illumination and clarity here that you gain, that you then carry forth here, if that is actually correct, if that is aligned within your own self and for yourself here, because the hierophant here, it's not just a sense of right here in a this sense of the right thing to do here. Again, there's a certain orthodoxy that's here in this space here. So it's not just a sense of right because I say so. Yeah, it's not like, oh, this is the right thing to do and this is the right pathway here because I say so. No, there's a real sense of orthodoxy here, in the sense of it's linking to kind of a universal truth here. It's linking to a universal order here of really what's the right way in which you show up within this world, treat others, and live your life. Right? It's a universal, yeah, I'm getting in the Hierophant energy here, especially as it relates here in the Emperor energy also. It's not just right for self as you deem it fit for your own self. It's right as it fits here within everybody, for everybody here, and within our world order, within the larger world order here. So if you're still carrying a sense of pride and a sense of either or, and it's just, this is just what I feel and whatever, who cares what you think? I'm fighting for this. I'm going to continue to carry my life here, which wouldn't really make much sense. Why would you continue to lead your life here and lead the perspective here? That's just not right. Why would you, if you've had necessarily, in a sense here, if you've had, say, for example, a sense of harmony, disharmony, which would be jumping out here in this Three of Swords energy, a sense of disharmony, a sense of argument with others, especially those close to yourself, who in a lot of ways here factor into your dream world, into your dream space, which would resonate here in the Seven of Cups energy. What's the point and the purpose here in carrying over disharmony, in fighting for a position here that is not right? and or necessarily here does not bring you what's most essential, especially at this time to have, which is an embodied, carried over sense of peace and harmony. Why do that? The disharmony that you necessarily then bring forth, that is then brought forth there within yourself, it messes up your opportunities here, your tangible opportunities here moving forward. Yeah. 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 If it hasn't already, yeah, because I'm getting in the combination, especially here in the combination of the hierophants and the Ace of Cups here, a certain opportunity here where you can gain some illumination here, especially as we're in a place here of continued social distancing. We're kind of more within and by ourselves. If you haven't come into a sense of understanding here of how you carry yourself moving forward in the Knight of Swords energy here, the perspectives, really the right battles, fighting the right battles, moving forward here with a correct sense of order, a correct sense of orthodoxy and order here for yourself, moving forward here. Here's the opportunity where you can reshape that and come into a new perspective, and necessarily reshape a new earthbound structure and order for yourself. Which is important here because that also is a discipline here of a possibility. With a new structure, with a new world order here comes new possibilities also. Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah. Yeah, interestingly enough, I'm getting that's kind of just about the end here. It's a pretty straightforward notion here. But let's see if there's any more that comes out here that can kind of wrap us up here and provide some clarity. Oh, interesting. Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck there. Yeah. Yeah, it's combining here. Yeah, because I was getting, especially in this Knight of Swords energy here, I carried over a sense of perspective. This is affirming that. Interesting. Yeah. The Ace of Swords and the Ace of Discs here, or the Ace of Pentacles here. It's newfound how this carries over here. Which would make sense because there's a lot of Aquarian energy. There's a lot of air energy that's also kind of influencing and shaping us as well. I believe there's a couple of placements here in Aquarius. And we also have just kind of wrapped up here. We're just kind of coming out of a full moon in Libra, which borns there a lot of internal perspective, a lot of ideas, a lot of that sort of energy and perspective as well. And also necessarily partnerships and relationships with others as well. But yeah, this Ace of Swords here is affirming that as well. And there is also a karmic discipline here, a karmic influence and discipline here that's underpinning this as well. In what no longer serves here, letting it go in the Four of Cups energy here. If a perspective here that you've been sort of maybe fighting to keep, or that you've been struggling to let go of, now is the space here in Hermit energy here where you're isolated within self, where you're maybe more withdrawn within self here, where you can maybe shed some of that and let that go. Come into a new sense of perspective and carry that forward. Come into a new perspective here in the Ace of Swords energy here and bring that forward here. Heal and reconcile here, where there may have been a sense of, because in the Ace of Swords energy, I'm also getting a stabilizing energy as well. Yeah, there's a stabilizing influence here. There's a sense of karmic justice here that's also brought forth here in this discipline as well. Yeah. This time frame here, the opportunity of this time frame here also brings that to the table for us as well. And again, in doing so here, shapes a newfound possibilities here, as it resonates, it's resonating here within our lives on Earth. Yeah. But put down the disharmony. The disharmony, the lack of union. Yeah. The you're here, I'm here. That kind of space here. It's time to resolve that. Yeah, I'm getting very strongly it's time to resolve that. It's time to resolve that. In arguments or disagreements that have been born either within yourself and or with others, it's time to bring a sense of harmony and resolution. A sense of harmony and resolution to that in the Four of Cups energy. It's time to visualize something new. Evaluate here and get into a sense of perspective here of if in my perspective here, is it still correct? Am I still carrying forward with this, or am I changing course? Or do I need to change course? Yeah. 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 Yeah, I'm getting that's just about the end here, but let's just see, just for giggles here, if there's any more clarifying messages that want to kind of jump out here. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, let's cut this deck here. Beautiful angels, and you're the last messages here of love, light, healing, and wisdom for a collective. As we look ahead here to the temperance, there is that stabilizing, balancing energy. There it is. There it is. Yeah. Temperance. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's a reintegrating. It's a reintegration, for sure. Yeah. Where there has been, and I'm also getting in the combination of the Hermit and Temperance energy here. Yeah. I was kind of mentioning this earlier here, but I'm getting here, in the one sense here, there is a great stabilizing and calming influence here that comes here, a sense of reintegration and harmony here that's born in this space as well. I'm also getting a necessary, especially in the combination of the Hermit and the Temperance energy here, a sense of a higher perspective. Again, moving away from a discipline and from a perspective of, I'm moving forward with this perspective just because I think it's right, and I'm fighting for it regardless if it's incorrect, regardless of if it's necessarily solely born from ego. But I'm submitting myself to an order here, to a new order that's correct, a new orthodoxy, a new structure, a new orthodox, a new order, and a new structure, I'm jumbling. A new order and a new structure and a new orthodoxy here that's based in a higher perspective, that's based in a construct here outside of my own ego overrun mind, outside of my own selfish desires. Yeah. Because again, it's really jumping out here in the hierophant energy here. In this orthodoxy, yet again, it's not just right just for you. It's not just what serves you. Right? Yeah. It's not just what serves you. It's what serves everybody. It's what serves our world. Which would jump out here. The imagery here and the Emperor energy sort of giving me that as well. I'm also getting a union here. Because you notice in this illustration here, they're drawing me to this here. In this globe here, there's the sun and the moon. It's like even in this structure here that is necessarily directed and acted upon here as it's expressed here in our divine masculine here, the mother principle, the divine feminine principle here, the sense of receptivity, the sense of giving, the sense of nurture, the sense of necessary harmony. Yeah, the perspective and desire here of harmony here, that never goes away. That's also combined and integrated here in that energy and within that space. And it's harmony within, again, it's harmony within self and also outside of self in relation with others. Those are integrated. Those are balanced. Those are integrated, which would then jump out in this temperance energy. Oh, I'm also getting keep holding on. Yeah. Keep holding on. Keep balanced. Keep patient. Keep your peace. Yeah, there's a lot that you might, especially, oh, interesting. Yeah, for some reason, yeah, the Three of Swords and the Three and Five of Swords here is giving me a certain onslaught of bad news and bad case scenarios here as it resonates here in our news, in our media. Don't be a gluttonous consumer of bad news. Yeah. Temper that. Yeah. Temper that. The temperance energy is kind of giving me that. Moderate that. Moderate your consumption of bad news. Moderate your consumption of the news. There is a certain yeah, news channels are, for some reason this is jumping out really strongly here. News channels can do very well here in giving us information and informing us, which would make sense here because we can get our necessary insight here and a sense of notion here of how we move forward, how we navigate here. Like if we're going, like for example, if we say going to the grocery stores here, I got this news earlier in the week when, for example, just bringing in a personal example here, when I was shopping and went to the grocery store here, I found out most recently here that wearing a mask is now like a mandated rule here. Like, for example, like say if you go to the news or you look to the news here to maybe give you that sort of update here on, oh, well, like say, for example, Texas is going to be reopening the state. They're going to be reopening the state of Texas. But like the school systems are still closed here. So, you know, maybe that kind of influences and gives you a sense of perspective. Or a sense of, oh, if I'm going to the grocery store here, if I'm going out to these public places here, I know now it's a rule here where I have to wear a mask. So, okay, cool, I'll do that. Like it can be in the one sense informative. It can also be a very succubus and self-feeding channel here of disorder. Yeah. Temper that. And if you can here, balance the constructive news here that you are gaining here, that you're able to gain here, with your own internal sense of knowing, with your own internal sense of advice. Yeah. What is right for you? What feels right for you? What necessarily shapes you in the best way and carries you forward here in the best way? There's also a sense of born creativity that can kind of come in that space, a newfound perspective, a newfound pathway forward, a newfound sense of insight that carries you forward here. And a certain willingness to carry that onward and to restructure. Yeah, especially in the emperor energy here, who is never far away here, in a divine masculine energy here of will, of action, of order and structure here, of passion here, that is never far away from and never unintegrated, which would make sense in this temperance energy here, never unintegrated here with the divine feminine principle here of creativity, of peace, of nurture. If you haven't already, integrate them. Bring about really construct some notions here. Yeah, really come into some constructed notions here of how you carry that forward, how you bring that about moving forward. So like I said, if there's been disharmony with others close to you, getting a notion here of how you bring about harmony, a tangible sense of harmony, a tangible sense of peace. Yeah. And so forth and onwards. Yeah. Speaking of disharmony. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I think that, yeah, I'm getting that that's just about it here. But yeah, keep your peace. Keep your peace. Keep a sense of balance and wits about you. We will be just fine. Again, in any given point in time here, in this time frame here, it's resonating here in the new moon in Taurus moving forward, but at any given point in time here, this timeline can be at any given point in time, social distancing or not, coronavirus or not. We always have the opportunity to step into a new perspective and into new possibilities. And oftentimes here, it can be very difficult here, but most fundamentally here, it can start here from just tempering self and going into a sense of peace and balance, of letting go of the ego, of letting go of the need to be right for myself, and stepping into a balanced perspective here and a balanced carried forward discipline here of what's right for all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting that's it. So anyways, hope that helps everyone here. We'll be just fine. Everything is perfection. I love you all. Take care. Bye.